So, in the previous episode, we created a page, a static page for the feedback URL. But if you recall, when we clicked first on the feedback URL, it just showed us a blank page with saying 404. This is exactly what would happen if we typed in any other URL, for example, just ABC. It just gives an empty page with this 404 not found. On the other hand, if we go to the real search cpan site and type in ABC, it gives us a page that looks exactly like the regular search cpan.org page, except that it has slightly different content. So how can we have this same behavior in our clone? Going to the source code, you might recall that what we had in the run menu, the run function, is that we had this three cases. The first case, if the path info, the path given requested by the user is the /is root, then it sends back the template. If it's the /feedback, sends back a different template. In any other case, it sends back just a text message, 404 not found. So in order to have the same look and feel, we have to create a template with the content of the specific content that should be sent back for a 404 page, and use the template keyword. To get the actual content, we go back to the website and then click on View Source, View Page Source, and scroll down to find the actual content. So here's the menu page, the options, and then here is the H1, that's the content, until the footer, which is in the footer, which is the cpan statistics. So this is the content of the specific content of the not found page. We copy it, and then we create a template. We can call it 404 template, and paste the content of that page there. Actually, there is something commented out here. Anyway, this is the content, and then here we just call, in any other case, we will call return. I'll just comment out this part for now. And instead of feedback, we just give 404. So after fixing this, if I go back to the page and reload it, it gives back exactly the view that I was expecting. So now the two look the same. It even has the statistics here as expected from us. So far it looks good, but there is some difference. And you can see it back here where we used to send back 404 code instead of the 200 HTTP status. And this time we are sending back the actually 200 status. How can we know that? Well, if we switch to the console and we type in curl -I and the URL that we have here, let's say this URL, the original one, then it will show us the header. In this header it says HTTP 1.1 404 not found. This is the status code. On the other hand, if we copy this URL, the URL of the clone, it will give us HTTP 200. And that's not really correct. So if this is a page that's not found, that we have to send back the not found. So what we need to do is go back to the source code, and instead of sending back 200, we need to send back 400. Now the template is just creating the function. The template function creates this three-part array, and the first element is actually status. Now we could change the template function to accept a parameter that would be the status code. But because it's so rare that we have to create this, I decided that something else is probably better. We accept the reply here. So this is the reply that the template created. So the reply is going to, the scalar reply will contain an array reference with 3 elements. And then we'll return the same thing that we returned earlier, but except of this 404 not found, we'll take the reply, and the third element, which is index 2 of that array. Now, if we go back, save the code, and reload the page, then it's broken. And it's broken because now we are sending back an array reference of the array reference. So we don't really need these square brackets here. Let's save it again. And let's reload the page. And this time it worked. So now we can see that the content is exactly what we expected. Let's switch back to the console and run curl. And as we are running it on the clone, now we can see that it's again returning 404 as we expected. So with this, we implemented the not found page with the same style as the regular pages of search cpan.org.